Hello, my name is Adam Harper, and I am a TA for the Communication Department. I'm here today to help you set up a WordPress blog for your upcoming communication classes. As you go through this, there will be different sections on how to set up different aspects and different features of your WordPress blog. And in the comments below, or in the description of this video, there will be chapter sections with a time index that you can click on to jump to whichever section that you're needing to at this time. But let's go ahead and get started, and let's say that this is your first semester, you haven't ever made a WordPress blog for the communication department. This is basically where you're going to be uploading blog posts and different assignments that correlate with that, so that way not only your teachers can review this, but also your other peers. That way they can visit your site and see all the work that you're developing throughout the semester. If you go to WordPress.com, that's the blogging site that the communication department would prefer that you use as a student. And if you haven't ever started one before, let's go ahead and get started. It's going to ask you, do you want to start a blog? Do you want to start a website, start a portfolio? Any one of these totally works. I mean, mainly you'll be either doing a blog, a portfolio, or a website. But for right now, let's just start with a portfolio, because that's mainly where you're going to be hosting a lot of your photos, your design work, your written work, your video work, anything that essentially you'll be doing for this class. There is a section here where you can select a theme. They only give you a couple right now to kind of pick from, but you can skip that and come back to it later. For the website address, preferably keep it simple, keep it not super long. A lot of people use their names, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Adam BYUI blog. And it says that the WordPress version of that is free. Honestly, if you were to do your first and last name, that works too if it is available. Just keep it simple, just because it'll be easier for students to be able to, access it without having to think of, what it might be. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And it depends on what you want to do, how professional you want to make this look. You're not required to purchase a plan. We ask that you simply just start with the free basic program that WordPress offers, but if you'd like, it's up to you to purchase anything else. It's if you want to develop it into more of a professional portfolio later on, that's totally up to you. So I just use my school email address, and the same username oftentimes is the one from the URL, and then a password that you can create, or you can use Google to sign in and get into your website faster. It just depends on what preference you'd like to use. Okay, so it automatically starts you up with a basic WordPress blog setup, and you can go through here, you can have the tutorial, kind of see what you want to do with it. But what we want to do is make sure that you have all of the settings set properly. So if you go up to My Site, and you go to Settings, so after you click on Settings, you can change the title of your WordPress site, and that affects this little section up here at the top of the tab. So I'm going to say Adam's blog, or more professionally for your portfolio, even you can say portfolio. You could even say tagline be my awesome portfolio. Just something to kind of help differentiate it from all those other sites on the web. You're going to want to make sure that your time zone is set properly. And to do that, we are going to select Boise. And you're going to want to make sure that your site is public. That way anybody who has the link, mainly your professor, your TA, and other students, are able to view it. That way it's not hidden or private, so that way there's no problem with them being able to access your site. After going through and seeing if there's anything else that you want to change or update, those are the basic ones that you're going to want to have set up. Click Save Settings. Okay, so once settings have been saved, you can come over here to the left-hand panel, and these are all the different options that you can go through and different menus that you can go in and change. Let's go ahead and go down to Themes. So this is the theme page where you're able to go and filter through all the free and all the premium themes. Premiums are ones that you would have to buy, so it's up to you again if you would like to purchase a theme for your site. But for now, let's just select a free one. Let's go ahead and do autofocus. So I'm going to select that. And it kind of says, oh look, here's a great theme for you. It will show off your work. And we're going to click activate this design. And now it says that it's automatically been activated. If you'd like, you can go and you can customize your design. And that's easily accessible. I can show you where to find that button to go into the customizer. When you go into here, it will pull up your site. And obviously it says, hey, you can control the way that your site looks here. Again, this is the site identity, this first tab right here. This is where you change your site title and your tagline. You can change that in there if you'd like as well. If you have a logo that you would like to use, or if you have an icon. So an icon is what shows up here at the top on the tab. You see that little W up there for WordPress? So that's what this little site icon is. It's a little bit smaller, so if you know how to create one of those, that's where you would input that. Colors and backgrounds, you are able to change your background color if you would like, and also you could even upload an image. That's available for you to do that as well. So let's say I want this dark, well, so many other colors, or you can even pick your own color here. So I really like blue, but I don't want a super dark blue, and I kind of want to change the hue a little bit. Well, maybe we'll do green. I'm not sure. Actually, let's stick with a nice, ooh, I like that. Okay, we're going to do a nice dark kind of charcoal gray almost. Click save and publish, so that way it saves my settings. And for the fonts, you can choose any of these fonts are available and free to use. I really like Montserrat, I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but it looks great anyway. You can also change the font size of it as well if you want it a little bit bigger, if you want it smaller. So I'm going to make the headings big. And then for your base font, this is where you can change the font type, like, oh actually that's pretty huge. I'm going to put that back to normal, because that way, that's a good thing to mention by the way, if you're ever changing font sizes, keep in mind that it's going to change it across the whole platform. So how this used to be really big, this font, I had to bring it back down to normal. But let's open up this blog post real quick. You can actually open up and move around your website while you're in the customizer. If you scroll down here, you can see that this text is what we're going to edit next, this right here. So we just changed the headings. So headings mean like the header up here, and headings for blog posts and other section items as well. The base font is where you're able to go in and you're able to change the text for the body copy. I'm going to do, let's do Open Sans. So Open Sans is a nice sans serif font. It's clean, it's elegant, so I think I like that a lot. It works well with my heading font. And I'm going to click Save and Publish. If you go back here to the side and you click on Widgets, you can see I have a text widget here, and it's showing it in the footer, I believe. So if we scroll down to the bottom, oh, yep, here it is. So here's a text widget, and widgets are cool because they're different little like modules that you can add onto your website. So let's say I want them to, well, I want to say thank you for checking out my site. Thanks for checking out my site today. So these are very customizable, whatever you'd like to do with them. You can even add a search bar. This is another widget right here, or you can search for other widgets to add. Okay, I think that's about everything I want to customize. I'm going to click Save and Publish. This next section is crucial for you to be able to be successful in the communication department. This is going to help you so much to better organize yourself so that way you can easily connect with your teacher, and that way they can understand where your content is, because so many people, like seriously, this is a huge problem with using a blog without understanding how it works, is that people don't send the proper links into the submission for their homework, and then the links that they send to TAs or the professors, they're broken or they don't take them to the right place on the page, and then you get docked down because then we can't grade your homework because we don't even have any homework to see because the link was not right, that's not correct. I'm going to show you how to be successful in the communication department by providing proper links for your homework. As you can see up here, this is my URL address, and if you click on view site, it kind of gives you a preview of that already in here, and I can click on this button, this little kind of arrow out of a page, and it'll actually take me to my site. And this is what you see, this black bar at the top and this little customized section down here. This is what you see when you're logged in as the admin, but other people won't see that. But if you were to simply hand this link up here at the top into your professor for homework, chances are that's not the best way because it's not specifically going to different homework assignments. And I'm going to show you what I mean when we can filter your homework assignments and help professors get to your specific homework, because you might have different classes. You might have 3 communication classes and you don't want them all just going straight to the home page of your blog, because that's just going to be confusing for them to be able to hunt down your homework every single time that you're turning it in. So we're going to go back into your settings, and once that loads, if you click on the tab that says writing, categories are what we're going to go into next. And right here you have an uncategorized default category. What we're going to do is we're going to click add a new category, and this pulls up a menu where you can type in COM 100. You could give a description of it if you would like, and you can click add. And then we're going to add another category, let's say COM 111, and we're going to put in COM 130. So this is great. We have 3 different categories for 3 different classes. They're all hosted though on our website. They're all going to display on our website, because it would make no sense if you made 3 separate blogs for 3 separate classes. It makes much more sense to have everything on one single blog and just to filter it by categories. I'm going to go in here, and let's say I just finished my first homework assignment. This is the sample blog post. If you'd like, you can simply click more and then click trash if you don't need a post. Like if you don't need any more, you can always throw it away. But I'm going to click on this add button right here next to the blog post, or the write button up here at the top. Either one works, and it'll start a new blog post for you. And let's say my first COM 100 post. And if you want to follow this tutorial, you can. It kind of shows you what you can do, different features that you can see within posts, but I'm just going to show you what you need to know for your blogs, for understanding how to make them efficient. So I'm just going to say, here is my homework. I hope you enjoy it. And you can totally add some media such as images. You can add media from Google. You can add a contact form if you like. You can add a payment button. Totally different features that you can add on here. If you click on the advanced button right here, you can also add different formatting options. This is what is crucial right here. If you come to categories and tags, this is a COM 100 post. So what I need to do is uncheck uncategorized and add it to the COM 100 posts. I can close that out, and these are other options that you can add as well, such as, do you want this to be published at a later time? Do you want this to be published publicly, which if you're going to be handing this in for an assignment, it should always be public. And then for a featured image, if you have an image that you'd like to post on here, such as like if this is for a photography assignment, you can add like, oh look, this is what you can preview inside my post. And as far as other options, you want to make sure when you click on more options right here, scroll to the bottom and make sure that comments is always enabled, because sometimes that can be turned off accidentally, and that allows for your professor to respond on your blog if they so desire, and also students, and for you to be able to comment on other students as well if they have this enabled. Okay, well this looks great for my first blog post for COM 100. I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. And it might ask me again, do I want to publish immediately? Yes, I do, and I want it public. Okay, so now that this is published, it will take you to your published post to kind of preview on your website, see what it looks like now. I'm going to make 2 more posts for my COM 130 and my COM 111 class. I'm going to make sure that I come to categories and tags, and then I uncheck uncategorized, and I make sure that I couple this post with the right category tag. So this is a COM 130 post. I want it to be in the COM 130 section. And then after that, I hit publish. My COM 111 post. And then I'm going to select categories and tags, uncheck uncategorize, and make sure that this goes with the right class. So COM 111, COM 111. Click publish. Great, this looks awesome. We're going to then organize a menu that will filter these posts. That way you can have multiple classes on one blog. So once I've clicked on my site and it takes me back to the dashboard view, I'm going to click on the themes customize button here at the bottom. It'll load the customizer, and you want to go into the menus option here. Once you've clicked on the menu section, you'll see that there's a section primary and a section social link for different menu options that you can have. Social links is where you can insert your custom Facebook or Twitter social media links for people to follow you online. If you go to primary, this shows you that you can edit different items such as custom links or pages within your website. I'm going to click menu locations, and I'm going to change the top section to show my primary menu. I'm going to click save and publish, and as you can see, it already updated it over here. So there's home, about, and contact. I'm going to go back into primary, and I'm going to say I want to add an item. I don't want to add a custom link. I mean, that's an option for you if you'd ever like to do that. If you have any new pages that you'd like to add, that's also an option for you. Posts, it's going to send it directly to a single post, which never really is a good option unless you have a reason to do that. But this is the section that we're concerned with, that we want to work with. Categories. We're going to add the COM 100, the COM 111, and the COM 130 categories onto your website. And then I'm going to reorganize this because I want my COM 111 here up with my COM 100 and COM 130, all of them grouped together after the home page. If you want to get really fancy, this is something that you could try as well. You could click custom links and put in, I believe it's a link to your blog. So if you type in a link to your blog right here, and then add a hashtag or a pound sign, and then you can say classes for the link text, and you add this to the menu, you can put this up at the top, and then do you see how you can rearrange these and how it kind of moves from inside to outside a little bit, like inside to outside, like that, so inside to outside. So if I put these on the inside, it'll group them all within there. So I'm going to close this menu here, and what I can do is if I click on this little button, it'll pull up all these different classes right there. Pretty nifty, huh? So it's up to you. If you'd like to have them all display individually, such as if I were to take them out, it pops right back up there. If you want people just to be able to have quick access to it. But if you want your website to look a bit cleaner, you can couple them all together simply by creating a custom link, which is essentially your website address with a hashtag at the end after a /. So if you just type in your URL with the WordPress.com at the end, and then have a /pound sign. So we're going to click save and publish. Alright, so I just closed out of the customizer. Let's go ahead and view the site and click the arrow out of the paper to take us there. So right now we're on the home page, and this essentially shows all of your blog posts that you've compiled together for your classes. But this is going to get really messy over the semester because you're going to be making so many posts, and so it's going to be difficult if somebody comes right to your homepage and all they see is all of your posts for all your classes. That's why we have these category tags, because let's say your COM 100 professor just wants to see only your COM 100 posts, so they can come here and click on that link and it'll take them straight to that category, and it'll pull all of the other posts that you're going to have on your website that are just related to COM 100. This is also something really important. Let's go back to the home page. You could submit this link, but I do not recommend it. What I recommend you do is, let's say for your COM 130 class, you're supposed to submit a blog link to your professor for your COM 130 class to be able to add to a blog list role, so that way other students can go and just click on your name and it'll take you to your blog. What I recommend you do is, if you go to your homepage and if you send them this, it's going to just send them to your homepage on your blog, and it's not going to be cleaned up for only your COM 130 posts. So what I'd recommend is you go to your category tag and you tell it to select just your COM 130 class, or whatever class it is that you're working with. And so you see here at the top, it's added this little bit to your URL homepage, category/COM 130. So if you select all this and submit this as your blog link, it'll take them right to your blog specifically just for these posts for COM 130, for your COM 130 class. So I'd recommend you do that for your COM 100 class, your COM 111 class, any class that you do that with that needs a blog link, send them to the category link. So as you can see, if I click on COM 100, it changes to make it specific to that category. That will save you so much time. It'll save your peers so much time from trying to find your work. It'll save your professor. Seriously, this is the best way to do it. One big mistake that students make all the time, please do not make this mistake, is if you're on this side of the view, like if you're looking at your dashboard, you're looking at your stats, you're looking at, the menu options here, students will submit this link up here, the WordPress.com only link up here. That is not going to work at all, because it's going to take them to a totally different website that isn't yours, and it won't work, and you'll be docked points for it. And if you don't correct it, if you make that mistake every single time you submit homework or your blog link, you're always going to get docked points for not having the right link. That also is an issue if you come to blog posts. And let's say I just finished my COM 111 post and I'm about to post it onto iLearn and submit it. Students will also use this link up here, and that doesn't fly either, because that is not going to take us to this post. This is the editing side of your post. This isn't the actual post itself. If I were to click this view post section right here, it actually takes you to the blog post, and this is the link. Like if you're submitting individual blog posts for your homework, this is the link that you would want to submit. After you actually go to the blog post and viewing it on the website, this is the link that you want to send. But if you click preview and you see, like, oh look, it's showing it on the editing side, this isn't still the right link for you. Always make sure that you click on this like out of the page arrow, and then you're actually on your website where it has your URL listed right here, and then this information like the date and your post title right here. Always make sure that you're submitting the right URLs. If you have questions about that, URLs can really be tricky. Feel free to ask your TA, ask your professor. If you're not sure, ask a friend, like go to a lab. Don't mess up on your links, seriously. So let's say you wanted to make a page for your website that isn't a blog post. It's something that you won't necessarily be updating all the time, but you want to be able to have information that people can contact you about, such as information about you or contact information. You can click on the add button right here on site pages, but since they already made us an about page, let's click on this menu item over here and click edit. This is a perfect example here of how this is an about page. Unlike posts, pages are better suited for timeless content that you want to be easily accessible. I'm going to delete this right here, and I'm just going to say this is my bio. I am from the United States and I love design. This is a great place for you to also insert a photo if you'd like. It's up to you to be totally customizable with this. And afterwards, you want to hit the update button. And once that's done, it'll take you to this preview box. And actually, WordPress has recently updated, so it looks like sometimes they will show you the actual website with a URL here at the top. I guess this also is a great option for you to be able to copy this link, and this is also a good link. Even though it's not this link up here, it's different because it's actually your website link with the proper end tags here. But overall, I think that is everything that I wanted to be able to cover with you today, just simply because I want you to be successful in this class. In any class in the communication department, I want you to be able to feel like you understand what you're doing when you're posting to your website, and that you're not going to get docked points, and that you can have fun customizing it, making it your own. And the more you learn about it, the more you'll feel comfortable with it, and the more you'll want to experiment with new designs, new themes, or perhaps even if you'd like to make it more professional for when you apply for an internship or for a future job. But if you seriously have any questions, please feel free to contact any of the teachers in the communication department or your TA for your class. They would be happy to help. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.